Good morning, YouTube. I am the City Prepper. Today is October 7th, 2025. So what if I told you you will not be going home tonight to your family? What if I told you disaster is going to strike, preventing a egress from the place you're in? What if I told you that Antifa and all the other nonsense are taking over cities, preventing you from leaving your place of work, and now you're not able to get home? What if I told you your loved ones are in those situations? These are the situations that could happen at any moment. Whether it's a man-made or natural disaster, they can literally happen at a moment's notice. This is why it is very important to be self-reliant and be prepared. There was a question I posed on Patreon over the weekend talking about this very same thing. Now, although I can't really go in depth on the scenarios and types of questions I ask on Patreon, but this is the thought process that you should be having every single day, every situation. A lot of people I know, whether they're law enforcement, military, will go into any room and have their back to a wall, face facing the door for situational awareness. This is exactly what you should be doing at all times. There is a looming threat right now that there's going to be a Mumbai or October 7th style attack on U.S. soil. It is very plausible because the southern border and the northern border were left wide open, and a lot of military-age men from the Middle East and from all these other countries that want to do us harm came in unchecked, unbothered, so on and so forth. If you remember, last year, no, about 2 years ago, there was some medical grade glowing stuff, let's put it that way so I don't get censored, that was in a truck in Mexico that went missing. There's a lot of variables that when you put them together equal the perfect storm. And I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know anything about other than the things that I'm saying to you. But now is the time to prepare. And this isn't fear porn. It's every major channel on here right now, whether it's Alex Jones, Angry Prepper, Black Scout Survival, are talking about that. We're on the precipice of a freedom of speech assassination, which happened about 2 weeks ago. And there's a lot of information coming out about that. Again, look to those channels for what they're talking about. And it's just a moment of time before there's a distraction, whether it's a major hurricane that strikes and affects an area. We're at the doorstep of it. The stock market right now is all-time highs. A lot of people, whether alternative media or mainstream media, are talking about how it's being propped up right now, and it could cause a bubble to be burst, which will have a devastating effect. Again, it's not financial advice. I would talk to somebody who specializes in this, but it's to be concerned about. Democrat-run cities are absolutely going to shit, and excuse my language. In Chicago, they just instilled a ice-free zone, which it's all for show. You cannot tell the federal authority that they can't come into a local municipality. The federal government trumps local and state governments. So you're going to have a power struggle with that, which is all optics. You're having the police chief of Chicago saying that stand-down order never happened, and the president of the Benevolent Association for the Police posted a picture showing the order in real time. So you're having a lot of posturing going on right now. There's a lot of elections going on locally that are going to have major impacts in their area. For example, in New York, you're having a communist, and let's not sugarcoat it, it's not a Democrat socialist, a communist who's absolutely going to blow away the competition and win. He's talking about taxing the rich and the white neighborhoods to pay for his free healthcare, free transit, free childcare. It's communism. And you're having people vote for this. I'm just appalled. And the crime rate is going to continue to go through the roof. He wants to legalize prostitution. He wants to almost get rid of all misdemeanor crimes. You're going to have crime going through the roof. That's why if the power of the ballot doesn't work, you need to have alternate plans. If you are able to. There's some people that can't move out of their situation for whatever the reason is. But this is why you need to be prepared and be self-reliant. I would highly, 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 if you haven't done so, start taking self-defense classes, start taking practical application and use classes of your boomstick, if you are legally allowed to have it. Take CPR and first aid classes. Help is not coming. You're seeing it time and time and time and time again. It's not going to come in a timely manner. It's not going to come at all. So for those of you that are waiting for a savior to come, you're the only savior. And I'm talking on the physical realm, on the actual everyday. Jesus Christ is the savior. And I apologize if I offend anybody with that statement, but that is my personal belief. But you have to be your only savior. You're seeing it in the news over and over and over again. You have to be the one that's going to get you through the situation. You have the Democrats right now actively stopping the next bill to go through to fund the government. They want this. They want chaos. They want all of this. This is how they keep control, the Democrats, by doing these stunts. And again, if you are left-leaning, just unsubscribe at this point, because you're what's wrong with this country. You need to prepare. We are actively in a hurricane season, and there is a lot of things on the horizon that seem to be transpiring that are going to leave you in a position where you'll either be living check to check or not be able to afford to do things at all, whether it's the housing bubble, the economic bubble, or a financial collapse. You need to prepare for this stuff. It's written all over the place. I think in the next 6 months, you're going to have either a housing bubble or a stock market bubble, and it's going to wreak havoc in a lot of people's lives. So if you're preparing for that rainy day by buying gold and silver or some commodity, that's a smart idea. By having food at least a minimum 6 months in advance, or 6 months supply, that's what you need to do. Because it's not going to get any cheaper. It's not going to get any easier. Look what happened in Venezuela when they started having that. It was like 350 of their dollars for one cheeseburger. What do you think is going to happen here when that happens? It's not if, it's when. The housing market is unsustainable. It's houses that 3 years ago were going for $300,000 are going for $1 million. Who can afford this? You're having people work 2-3 jobs each in a household, where that's 2, 3, 4 jobs that the household is working just to live in a house. It goes with the 2030 agenda. You will own nothing and be happy. Financial independence and self-reliance abilities are the only way to win. So I hope this message finds you as a gentle warning. This is not intended for fear porn whatsoever. But if you want to learn about more scenario-based things, patreon.com/cityprepper718. If you want to have the up-to-date knowledge and how-to and first aid gear, darkknightmedics.com. The links will be in the box below. Again, if you have not started preparing, it is never too late, but you are severely behind the 8 ball. Tomorrow's video will be going over some different prepping ideas and some suggestions on what should be in your IFAK or individual first aid kit. Have a great day and stay tuned for further.